Depression is not a modern day disease. There have been many recorded cases in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament. The first case na nakita ko was that of Cain. But then there was another case of depression involving a very prominent or famous personality. And this person is King Saul, the first king of Israel. Cain was a farmer, while Saul was a king. So I am discovering that depression does not choose a social status, an age, a gender, or a profession. Nangyayari ito or posible mangyari ito sa lahat ng tao. And science says there is no medical cure. I believe that the only way to overcome depression is to understand why it happens so that we can respond properly and overcome it. As the first king of Israel, I really believe Saul was destined for greatness. Di ba you were the first anointed king? So I'm sure God has great plans for him. And in fact, we see this in 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 15 and 16. Sabi ng verse 15. Now a day before Saul's coming, the Lord had revealed this to Samuel, saying, About this time tomorrow I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin, and you shall anoint him to be prince over my people Israel, and he will deliver my people from the hands of the Philistines. For I have regarded my people, because their cry has come to me. Saul was chosen to deliver God's people from their enemies. Di ba that's a special privilege? And I really believe pag nagawa niya yon, there will also be blessings after. So this is why I say I believe that Saul was destined for greatness. However, Saul disqualified himself from being great because there was an instance where he did not follow the Lord's instructions. Ang masakla pa, akala talaga niya he was doing what he did to please the Lord. Ang nangyari kasi, God gave him an instruction to do. Ang ginawa niya, he improved on it. Anong ibig sabihin, he improved on it? Have you ever received an instruction na feeling mo mali or may kulang? So sabi mo sa sarili mo, I'd like to take the initiative of improving the instruction, correcting the mistake, para naman matuwa yung boss ko sa akin. Nangyari na ba sa inyo yun? You improve on an instruction. Tapos when you completed the task, you were excited to know how the boss will react. Titingnan mo kung gaano siya matutuwa. Pero, imbis na natuwa siya, napagalitan ka pa. Tapos napahiya ka pa sa maraming tao. Paano nangyari yon? And because you were scolded in front of many people, you went through depression. And for many days, hindi mo maintindihan paano nangyari yon. Ano ba yung inutos ni God kay Saul na hindi niya sinunod? Let me read the instruction in 1 Samuel chapter 15 verses 1 to 3. Then Samuel said to Saul, The Lord sent me to anoint you as king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore listen to the words of the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, I will punish Amalek for what he did to Israel when he set himself against him on the way while he was coming up from Egypt. Now go and strike Amalek and utterly destroy all that he has, and do not spare him, but put to death both man and woman, child and infant, ox and sheep, camels and donkeys. The reason why God wanted to completely destroy the Amalekites was because nung lumabas ang Israel sa Egypt, when they were still a very young nation, they were still a gathering of slaves. Ang ginawa ng mga Amalekites, ginera sila. They did not have an army, they don't know how to fight. So, ang sumalubong sa kanila paglabas was the Amalekite army. And if they did not win that battle, the Jews would have gone back to Egypt. Hindi sana sila nakapunta sa promised land. So galit na galit si God sa mga Amalekites. And you know, you will read the story in Exodus 17. So after they won the battle, God made a promise that he will blot out the Amalekites from the face of the earth. When Saul became king, Because meron na silang army, inutos niya kaagad ito kay Saul. Kaso lang siguro, Saul did not find the instruction of the Lord practical. And I think he saw it as very harsh. Kasi imagine, papatayin mo lahat, babae, lalaki, infant. Pagkatapos pa, papatayin mo lahat ng magandang baka, kambing, o sheep. You will utterly destroy everything. So Saul improved on the instruction of the Lord. And we see this in 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 9. Sabi ng verse 9, "But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, the oxen, the fatling, the lamb, and all that was good, and were not willing to destroy them utterly. But everything despised and worthless, that they utterly destroyed." Kumuha rin sila ng mga jewelries, mga gold. Di ba bakit masusunugin yung mga yon? How did the Lord respond to Saul when he heard this? Let me read 1 Samuel chapter 15, 10 and 11. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel, saying, "I regret that I have made Saul king, for he has turned back from following me and has not carried out my instructions." Pero alam mo ba, when Samuel confronted King Saul, he really believed he obeyed the Lord. Basahin natin ito sa verse 20 to 21 ng 1 Samuel 15. Then Saul said to Samuel, "I did obey the voice of the Lord and went on the mission on which the Lord sent me, and have brought back Agag, king of Amalek, and had utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took some of the spoil, sheep, and oxen, the choicest of the things devoted to destruction, to sacrifice to the Lord your God at Gilgal." He even made a justification. Isa sacrifice daw nila sa Panginoon, hoping that God will be pleased with what they did. Why did he spare Agag and the best of the land? I will explain that to you later. Pero when he explained this, nagalit masyadong Panginoon. And the Lord said something very harsh in 1 Samuel 16, 14 and 15. Sabi ng verse 14, "Now the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord terrorized him. Saul's servant then said to him, 'Behold, an evil spirit from God is terrorizing you.'" I really believe Saul became confused and angry. Kasi naniniwala siya, ginawa niya yung utos ni God sa kanya, tas in-improve pa niya. Tas meron pa silang pang blood sacrifice. I really believe hindi niya inakala na i-reject siya ni God for just improving or changing a little of the instruction. Tapos, hindi niya maintindihan, why would the Spirit of the Lord depart from him and put an evil spirit in place of him? Why? After this incident, Saul lived an angry life. He did not have peace because an evil spirit was constantly terrorizing him. The only thing that would calm his heart was when David would play his harp. However, because he was depressed, he became paranoid. And because he was paranoid, he was always jealous of David, imagining that he will soon take his kingdom. And because of that jealousy and fear, he made it his obsession to kill David. Maski si David was the most loyal of his servants and the best soldier in his army. Di ba sabi ko sa inyo, depression makes people do foolish things, foolish, terrible things. In the past, when people get depressed, they would kill the person they feel is causing the depression. Today, when people feel depressed, they kill themselves to escape their depression. Totoo ba that the reason why Saul disobeyed the Lord was because he wanted to please him? Did he change the instruction because he was hoping that the Lord would see him as wiser? Let me read for you a verse that revealed his heart. 1 Samuel 15:24 says, "Then Saul said to Samuel, 'I have sinned. I have indeed transgressed the command of the Lord and your word because I feared the people and listened to their voice. Saul did not completely obey the Lord because mas importante sa kanya kung ano ang sasabihin ng mga sundalo niya. He spared King Agag because he wanted him to be a trophy to show everybody his victory, but not the victory of the Lord. And during that time, people were paid from the spoil of the battle, from the gold they will collect, the jewelries, plus the best of the land. If he destroyed everything, people will see him as foolish, tanga, for doing so. So natakot siya, na matawag siya ng mga tao niyang tanga. Friends, I need you to understand that God anointed Saul to rule over his people. That day, he allowed these people to take the place of the Lord. They ruled over him. Ano ba talaga ang kasalanan ni Saul? 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 22 and 23 explains this. Saul did partial obedience. Ano ba ang partial obedience? Partial obedience is disobedience. So let me read 1 Samuel 15:22 and 23. Sabi sa verse 22, Samuel said, Has the Lord as much delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed than the fat of rams. For rebellion is a sin of divination, and insubordination is as iniquity and idolatry. Friends, disobedience to the Lord is very serious. Kala natin simple lang yan para sa Panginoon. It's a serious sin to Him. Because disobedience is an insult to Him. Why is it important to obey an instruction to the letter? Maski feeling mo mali or kulang. Kasi while feeling mo na kulang siya, to the Lord, to your boss, to your parents, hindi siya kulang, tama siya. The reason why they gave that instruction kasi meron silang gustong ma-accomplish for the company, for the family, for you. And because they have wisdom, they gave you instructions na dapat hindi mo baguhin because it will just complicate things. The Lord wanted to completely destroy the Amalekites because He made a promise to Israel. It was for the good of Israel. The Amalekites, if God would not destroy them completely, will continually oppress them. And God wanted to protect them. When Saul disobeyed, it was insubordination to the Lord. Ganun din kayo sa mga boss nyo, sa mga parents nyo, sa mga teachers nyo. When you do not completely obey, it is insubordination to them. It is insubordination to the boss you serve. Di ba ikaw nag-apply sa kumpanya tapos pag inutusan ka, babaguhin mo? Di ba it's insubordination? It's insubordination to your teacher when they give you instructions. Sana simple lang if you just follow. It is disrespect to parents when they give you instruction and you feel you know better. When you change the instructions, alam nila it will be complicated. Kaya tayo nade-depress when our boss rejects our work or rejects our obedience kasi nawawala yung reward. Instead na matuwa siya na pagalitan ka pa, kung sana ginawa mo lang yung sabi niya. Paano pag feeling mo may mas maganda ka idea? What should you do? You should appeal. You should present it first before doing it. But before you do it, magpaalam ka. Pag sinabi niyang ayoko, gawin mo lang sinabi ko, gawin mo yung sinabi niya. Because that is right. I'd like to show you Deuteronomy chapter 28 verses 1 and 2. It's a very nice set of verses. Sabi ng verse 1, Now it shall be if you diligently obey the Lord your God, being careful to do all his commandment which I command you today. The Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. All these blessings will come upon you and overtake you if you obey the Lord your God. Did God give you instruction kasi kulang siya sa pansin? Do you know God gives instruction to bless and protect you? Did your boss give you instruction because he's selfish and he's stupid? No. It is his responsibility that the organization would succeed. He gave you instruction for the good of everybody. Did your parents give you instruction kasi sadista sila, gusto ka lang ng pahirapan? Uy, kaibigan, nung pinanganak ka, inalagaan ka. Nagpuyat yan to make sure hindi ka nagugutom. Pinag-aral ka, pinagbihis ka, ngayong malaki ka na, ayaw mong sumunod. Nagtataka ka pag hindi ka blines. Have you ever done partial obedience? Sabi mo kay God, Lord, ang hirap naman ng utos mo, Lord. Bukas na lang, Lord, bukas ko lang gagawin yan. Like for example, when wives are asked to submit to a husband that they cannot respect, or a husband who will not love his wife because she is unlovable. So sabi nila, Lord, ang hirap naman yan, Lord. Pwede bang bukas na lang yung obedience na yan? Alam mo sabihin ni God, sige anak, okay lang yon. Pero yung hinihingi mo bukas na rin. I'm realizing oftentimes we forfeit blessings and then invite rejection and depression because ayaw natin sumunod ng tama. Friends, as long as you're under the care and protection of an authority, do what is right, not what is good. What does that mean? Do what is right for them, not what is good for you. Alam mo, when you do what is right, ultimately it will become good for you. When you do what is good for you but not right for the authorities you have, it will never be right for you because magkakasamaan kayo ng loob. Pag masama ng loob mo, you will do stupid things that you will regret. Friends, do you want people to appreciate you? Do you want to receive favor? I believe all of us wants this. But for this to happen, we should not insist on what is good for us. Rather, that we adjust and do what is right for them. And I believe if you do this, you will avoid depression and you will lead a happy life. Sana natulungan kita. If I did, I ask you one favor. Help me help others. Share this video with friends and family. And if possible, support this channel. Subscribe to it, give it a like, so that YouTube can share this video to more Filipinos. Ang dream ko is to help all Filipinos become fruitful. And I believe one of the things we must do is to help them overcome depression. Maraming salamat for watching. May God bless you.